And howdy diddy.
Hello.
Hello.
Wel-
Hello.
wel-
Hello.
Welcome to Tuesday.
It's another Tuesday.
Another busy
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday, y'all. Yellow Rose is here. Joe Blaylock is here. And Brent came and went because he's got to go get dog food. Gotta feed the pooch.
Dog food. They don't like it when they don't have food.
Man, they get very, very annoying.
But it is a testy Tuesday.
So I guess few highlights for today. We're going to talk about something we didn't want to hear. We're going to talk about something we're looking forward to. And whatever random shit we come up with.
And let's go.
Meaning that one. He's too cool to wear a hat today, too.
No, I just don't feel like wearing one.
Are you showing off that you actually got a haircut?
Mm,
Your back to school haircut?
no, just it's kind of hot. It's been really like freaking 107 today, and wearing a hat sucks ass, so I'm not gonna freaking put a hat on.
I understand.
I had to drive back and forth to work twice coming home because I left my freaking phone there.
Oops.
Which I usually don't care. I mean, I would just like, I'll just pick it up tomorrow, but I wasn't sure that I left it. So I'm like, all right, I gotta, that sucks. Especially when you get all the way home and you're sitting there basically almost in your driveway and you're like, I got to drive back to work. I mean, thought I'd get out early, but ended up leaving at the right time. Just put in 9 extra miles.
Well, we got
Get the violins out.
Warren is here, Drone Delirium is here, and Ben T is here already. Damn, this was a short show. Either Ben start showing up early or the streams are getting short. I don't know. So
Ben T in the house.
Well, let's get the ugly part out of the way. And I'm not gonna do no freaking screen shares or anything like that. I'm just gonna put it out there. Somebody, meaning a certain senator, is pushing for an amendment on the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, that mysteriously lost counting CCP part between the House and the Senate. Well, a certain senator is now trying to get that thing as an amendment to the NDAA. So apparently the DJI ban is sort of back on the table. So
yep.
That's the bad news for today, and we're not going to dwell on it.
Yeah, it's good to talk about for a minute. It's it's the reason for the season. Sometimes,
yeah,
you need to kind of think about things as you plan ahead. There's a lot of different forces kind of coming together. You got, changes in products. You've got basically we're coming to a wall when it comes to products. There's basically a wall of development that's happening because the market's pretty much gone as far as it's going to go in a lot of ways. That's why you're not seeing, this. Plus people are getting bored. I'm just going to speak for myself, but the market is, it used to have a ton of excitement, this preloaded excitement. And now it's like, oh, here comes another product. You know,
I think we're all going to go to Chuck's house for dinner tonight.
steak night sounds good. I'm gonna go hit golf balls here in a little bit.
Oh, going to Top
That's
Golf?
kind of, yeah. We have a thing that's kind of like Top Golf. I call it bottom golf. It basically, the state of Utah is into copycats that are only partially as good as the real thing. So there probably won't be any booze there. It'll probably be mediocre food, and their electronic excitement is probably scaled back. Top Golf has got a specific expectation, so I'm gonna give these guys the benefit of the doubt, the benefit of the doubt today, before I throw them under the bus. But yeah, it's nice to get out. We've been doing a lot more family stuff, and
so Bob is referring to Ready Set Drone latest video on the Emax Mini Cine, whatever Cine Mini thing, where Callie dared to go into air mode flying indoors. So that's where this is coming from. Dare to do air.
Air mode, is that their manual mode? Is that
air? Well, it's acro mode.
Minus?
It's kind of a default mode, and beta flight. You actually have to turn when you turn off angle or horizon. There's another setting in beta flight that you have to flip off to get out of air mode. But most everybody will refer to air mode as acro mode. It's not quite the same thing, but
it's a version.
Air mode is the reason why when you flip up against the wall, that thing just starts screaming and stays stuck.
It gains suction and goes, I really suck, and I'm going to keep sucking.
Well, it's trying to stabilize itself on the way, but it's stuck because it's sucking itself against the wall.
Right. It can't. It doesn't.
It's also the same reason when he goes under chairs to get sucked up into.
It doesn't. I do not understand.
So, Chuck, I need to know, are you cooking or is Lori cooking? You know, that's important. That's important information.
It's a good indoor drone.
And now there's no little Johnny and his family visiting their little Johnny's grandmother, and they're sitting down to eat, and Johnny wants to dive right in. Mama goes like, no, Johnny, we have to pray first. And he goes like, no, Grandma knows how to cook. We don't need to pray here. Lori's indisposed.
I still have my cough. It hasn't gone, so just to warn you.
Oh, he's still on COVID.
Just annoying. Still at work. Headed back. Yeah. Back and forth. Back and forth. That was my work day.
Yeah, East Coast, since you're listening, I've sent you a message. I need your address so I can send this thing back to you. I got the controller fixed, and it's now reacting as expected in beta flight. And his problem was actually not the quad. That was his controller. He had a bad gimbal in that controller. So I
Which
found
is
a parts remote, and we swapped out couple parts. He also had a broken switch, which I switched out. So he's got all switches back on.
that's nice if you can get the fix. Switches are easy to break. I broke a switch on one of my first controllers, my first Acro controller, one of those D8s that I had.
Sunrise knows all about broken switches.
Yeah, they sell those switches, man. You need to get like 15 of them. So every time you freaking touch it wrong, it breaks off.
Well, it turns out when you use the remote for a football, the switches break.
Mm-hmm. That was the punt remote.
Yeah. That was the punt.
The punted remote. Yeah, it's I've actually come to the point where I've got to actually think about how to use my time again. Kind of annoying. All right, I got 2 days this week.
Then just burn your ass when work crunches your style.
Yeah. It's just, I don't mind going back to work. I usually when I go back to work, it's, we start to kind of amp down the heat index a little bit, maybe get it to 100 would be nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane that, we're sitting at a 109 right now. God.
Yeah, we're not sitting at that. We are at, what are we?
109. We're at the it should be cooling off here. That's the top. That was the top of the heat index today. Quite interesting. We had a discussion. We had a heat discussion. My mother-in-law said some things, and I'm like, I can't believe because I think she was basically making the comment that because it was hot, we went out and we were walking together, and I'm like, no, this just feels hot. It just doesn't feel hotter or not as hot because in Rome it was hot. It was 100 degrees in Rome, and she's like, nah, this is not as hot as that. And I'm like, it's got to be 107 or something. Okay. So she kind of bet me and dared me. So I'm like looking up I'm like, we were talking about heat index and we were looking at humidity.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked up the humidity of here where I live, 24%. I'm like, God almighty, it feels like it's way hotter than that. And then I looked up Rome's heat index. It was 6%. So I'm like, okay, there is a difference. She's like, no, I remember just sweating right away. And I'm like, I didn't remember sweating because I probably was out of sweat.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, it was hot.
That's dangerous. If you quit sweating, then you're in trouble.
It was so hot there. Oh my Lord. But it was hot. It's hot now. I mean, I go out there and that's dangerously intense, but the humidity level is 24%. I honestly can't tell the difference between 107 and 100 with 86% humidity. I can't tell the difference. They both suck.
Yeah. We're at, I just looked it up. We're at feel like 104 was 29% humidity.
Yeah. I have no idea what the humidity is right now, but I don't even look at it here because it's like useless information. But yeah, so anyway, that was kind of an interesting comparison.
Yeah.
Rome.
No, it's just like the weekend we went to Phoenix. It got hot in Phoenix too. Yeah, and I imagine Florida's humidity is through the roof right now after Debbie came through there.
But yeah, it just anyway, it just yeah, and Florida's you guys the humidity from hell. That's the 80 plus every day. But it was just really interesting to make that comparison where both of them were extremely hot and uncomfortable. But anyway,
Well,
tell me something we don't already know.
we found some release dates. These seem to be the release dates for the DJI Neo being the 20th of this month and Action 5 being on the 28th of this month.
And no information on any Air and Air 3S, which is very interesting because that's been well over a year.
Air 3, Air 3S, Air 4, whatever. Yeah.
There is a that it has been
According
verified that
to Igor's reply, where somebody else asked about the Air 3S, not anytime soon.
and
So,
there definitely is a Mavic 5 that we've seen pictures of. That's the video that's been out, and that's kind of an interesting video because they basically shoved the entire gimbal of the Air 5 or no of the Mavic 5 into the body. So you basically have a revolving, ball like a built into the body. There's no gimbal sticking out. It's really, really quite interesting. So that they're probably working on the bugs on that. That's why that crash video was probably being looked at by an engineer. He was, beating it up, talking about, looking at the stress points but there'll definitely be a change in the Mavic 5. But yeah, will there be an Air 3S? There's a possibility that won't be released. It just depends.
well, I think DJI is going to open the floodgates on releases.
And if they're going to, they have very little. I mean, they basically they got to release it all before Christmas.
Yep.
So that's not very much time. That's October, November. Well, we got all of September here. At 3 months, basically. There's a lot of releases in that 3-month period, I guess.
And TJ is here. Watch out.
I'm very interested in a Action 5. For whatever reason, I do not know. I don't know
Well,
why.
you got a thing for cameras. We all know that.
It's been a long time since an Action 5 concept. I mean, it can't be the 3 and the 4 were so close. So the 5 has to be a completely different thing. And it has to be better than, Captain Drone's favorite Ace Pro. He thinks that's the greatest camera since sliced bread. And
Well,
it's either that or there's the Sony. The Sony put out a new camera that I'm very interested in. It's the EF1 or something. No, is it Sony? Yeah, that camera.
that's what I have.
It's not that camera.
There's another
Yeah.
variant of this camera out.
Here, let me. It's a. Here, let me find the.
There's the ZVE10 Mark II.
It's this one. It's the ZVE1. And that camera, it's $1,800. It's very expensive, but it's got built-in AI stabilization. That means that it uses the ginormous, was it one? I think it's 1 inch. I believe it's a mirrorless. Anyway. It's my camera guru, the guy that I trust more than anybody on this earth about great cameras, this one, you can tell he completely is enamored with it. And everything I've seen on this camera is that it is absolutely, I mean, it's got the newest technology built into it. It's smart. And like you said, it has a version of the auto. Yeah, it has a version of an auto positioning. So it will like like an absolute boss.
Yeah.
Remember, its autofocus or an auto follow is unbelievable. I've never seen anything do what it does. I could do a standing vlog from here with a fixed camera, and that thing would follow me and put me in the center of the frame. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
This is, whoa.
Yeah, it's the ZVE1, I believe. And it's less expensive. It weighs lighter and it weighs less. I forget how many grams it is.
It's a ZV1 Mark II.
No, this has got its own lens. You have to buy those separate lenses for this. This one it will come with a. This is not one that comes with the.
Then you're talking about the ZVE10.
I've got the ZVE one up right now on my screen here. It's a B&H photo. Let's see. Yeah, it says even smaller than the EV10 and cinema style inner workings of the A7S III. The ZVE1 features full. Let's see. It features full frame 12 megapixel Exmor R CMOS sensor. And it's like I said, it's a flat out camera, and I think it comes with I wish I knew more about cameras.
Well, the ZV1F is what I use right here. That's what this camera is, the one I'm using here.
No, I mean like I said, this is the $2,000 camera I'm talking about here. This is not the budget version. Let me show you what I got here.
What? Don't you be calling my camera a damn budget version.
Hey, this is
don't make me come over and smack.
It looks more like a small mirrorless, but here, let me share this with you then, just to get this. And there's the only reason why I would look at something that is way above my skill level and price point is because of how good it is and what it's doing. It's a true pro camera that is smaller. They basically took this and did this with it. And and it's just with the new technology, it's just crazy what they're doing. Let me see let me just show you. There's nothing special about it. It's not a special camera. So looks a lot like yours, but it has the regular grip body, that so there it is, man. This will take all the different lenses. I mean, you can spend $2,000 for a lens and stick it on this thing. It does come with, I think, there's a package that comes with the lens, so you can, right out of the box, use it. And the biggest problem with these big mirrorless cameras are stabilization. That's where you pay the money, because the stabilization is usually in the lens. And this one is kind of solved that problem. It's absolutely hellaciously amazing, and the color science is unbelievable in it. And like I said, the camera guy that I really look up to is you can tell he's got the camera of his dreams, and his camera is all about cameras never being good enough, you know, that there'll never be a perfect camera for me. And he'll beat this one up, but he'll go out and buy, you know, like people will buy aftermarket stuff. He'll go out and buy Zeiss lenses for it, you know, and he'll go find a budget Zeiss lens that fits on there. So he looks for the super good glass to stick on these. But yeah, it's got the flip screen, but this is not going to be it. This isn't just a point and shoot. You got to actually learn a little bit of camera freaking guru. Yeah, 35 millimeter full frame. So, and it's only 400 grams. Usually a camera like this with the lens, is like 800. It's like double the weight.
Well, that is 400 grams with
right. That's the
battery and memory card, but no lens.
Let's see here. You put the lens that the one lens that it comes with. I mean, you could spend $1,000 for the lens alone. And then it's got the different adapters. But there's a kit right now that's being sold that's $1,800. Let me see. That's Amazon. Let's see if I can find it. Let's get Amazon in here. And find the ZVE one. There it is, right there. Let's see. This one right here. That one come with the lens. There's a bundle in here that comes with the lens. Interchangeable. That's more garbage. Maybe it's this one right here. Yeah, it's about $2,000. There's a better deal than this, I know. But it comes with this 1.8. Let's see. So you at least get a lens to start with. Photo sensor technology. But this is the real deal, man. But that's and then 2 batteries and all that. Anyway. And I've seen the guy that I watch, he uses this to live stream with. He carries it. He does everything with it now. It's like he now uses that as his main camera. It's kind of like his other one, which is twice as heavy. You know, he just doesn't use as much. Plus, it's got 240p, so it'll basically 240 frame FPS for like slow mo. So he likes the 120 slow mo, and he's always doing slow mo things with it at full HD. But anyway, that's the newest, latest, and greatest of cameras. So, but it's a dream. It's not. It's not. I'm just saying. I'm thinking about cameras. I'm thinking about, DJI putting out an Action 5, like alien technology.
Well, I am kind of interested in CV1 Mark II, which is basically an upgrade to the one I have, because I got the ZV1
right
F.
To me, to me, the usability factor, for that, I would use it for, a studio camera, because with that specific, those lenses that you have, the better, more full, the larger your screen, the larger your sensor is becoming, you get the full frame. I don't have to have all these lights in here. I can get rid of all of my fill lights if you get a good camera, except for one tiny light, because those big lenses don't need all this extra light. That's why everybody uses them. They don't have to have a a studio just full of light. You know, with most cameras, if you don't have light, you're screwed. You know, so you have to just
should I try to show you what I'm using for light here? I don't know if I can do that.
yeah, because the lens on that camera there is
So I got a ring and
yeah.
I got a little light bar laying up there.
Yeah, I've got a light truck, trying to light up my freaking place right now. I got a lighting crew that comes in and sets up, man. Freaking, in comparison. So with a better camera, I'll just switch my other camera over to the 930. So, I got these freaking ginormous, lights right there that are, then I got this huge window. Otherwise, you see that's what cameras look like right there. Dark without any light but if I had that ZV-1 on this arm, I would be perfectly in focus, and it would be able to deal with the light on both sides. So, it's that's the difference between a real camera and a fake camera. And you're at least going the right direction with your cameras. You're getting to full on good, nice size 1 inch. I think your Sony must have, I bet you has a 1 inch or even a micro 4/3. But with those big cameras, you get heating issues. You get battery issues because they take a lot more power to work. And that's why the Sony camera is kicking butt. I guarantee that camera, that EV-1 that I was showing you, that camera will be used by more people in the next coming couple year. Everybody's going to be dumping their other gear.
There's my setup.
Yeah, that one little light's all you need with a good camera. So you start getting into cost, so you have the studio lights. It's already here. So you buy a $70 Brio right now, throwaway Brio that somebody, upgraded their gear. The Brio is a big step up.
DJI doesn't, I didn't think they bought out Hasselblad, but they're partners in Hasselblad.
Bob Casey was asking if everybody's going to buy the Neo.
Well, I'm kind of wanting to get toward that part of the conversation.
No, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
No, there's no freaking way I'm going to buy that piece of crap.
Yeah.
I'm way above
Uh-huh.
purchasing anything at such a toy level. Bob, I can't even hide it right now. DJI hasn't put out a drone since the beginning of summer, and it was a reboot. So if they, the only thing they've put out that's been new has been the Avata 2, and that's still a 2. It's not a new product. So yeah, I am going to review the Avata 2 Mini because that's what it is. It's the Avata 2 Mini. It's not a Neo. It's the Avata 2 Mini. Let's just call it what it is. I got nothing else to do. I mean, crap. I mean, I can go.
Here we go.
The year is winding down, and we get these products out. Come on, DJI. We got the government trying to stick them in drone jail, and they're trying to release products. I think somebody put that controller in that.
Yeah, somebody did, because
I just think they put the wrong controller in there. Unless it doesn't matter. Because that's the controller too. Because you made the correct analysis that's the controller too. And
well,
That's the controller
somebody chose
3.
the wrong image because
The controller 3 looks like that. It's different. It's a lot
yeah,
smaller than the controller 2.
yeah. But here's the thing, Ken, and the fine print here. This suggests it will fly and can be paired with the goggles 3. Well, if it flies on the goggles 3, you need to have motion controller 3. Because motion controller 2 only talks to goggles 2. Motion controller 3 only talks to goggles 3.
Right.
You
But
can't cross the generations. Even
Right.
the guys that are now trying to use the goggles 3 was the old 3 unit. They need to have the controller 3 if they want to use DJI controller was the old 3 air unit.
Right. Or have their own controller.
Or
Have their own receiver.
put a different receiver on it and go with their own protocol, whatever that might be.
Yeah, there's going to be there's such a backlog of products. They're just going to be coming bam, bam, bam. It's
Yeah.
I mean, right now we're looking at possibly 5 products being released in less than 3 months.
I'm also looking at the 16-minute flight time.
That's a lot of flight time for a 2S battery.
Yeah.
That is going to be pushing hard to raise that. That thing it's got to be very hollow. It looks very substantial, and DJI tends to, kind of create a handful for whatever reason. Maybe for quality's sake, but you can take about 7 grams off of that because nobody's going to fly with them stupid freaking prop guards on there. We'll take that off.
Well, you and I had the discussion because this Neo is marketed, it says 135 grams. But if you look at it, behind that statement is a little asterisk. And I'm guessing that asterisk will say something without battery.
Yeah.
And
maybe it has battery options that are different.
We've looked at different 2S batteries and kind of figured this battery probably weighs somewhere in the 60 to 65 gram range, which in a way would make sense because you got 135 grams on the drone. If you get a 60 gram battery, that puts it 195, which
Right.
also puts you under the 200 gram limit for Japan.
Right. And so we're looking, do you think there might be possibly a couple of different, maybe a pro version with a bigger battery, where they do that,
I doubt it. Because the battery then, if the battery would peak out on the end, I'd say yeah. But since the battery seems to be fully enclosed on this thing, I kind of doubt it. Because, you only got so much real estate to stick the battery into.
Right.
There's only so much room for the battery. But
Yeah,
I'm thinking this is, I'm still, thinking this is a Tello replacement. It's supposed to compete with that hover camera. This is your AI selfie camera to be flown indoors and outdoors on the patio, but not 10 miles out.
You think you're gonna see a 1/1.3 in there, or maybe even a 1/2-inch sensor, maybe smaller? It's just interesting.
Since DJI has been sticking the 1/1.3 sensor in everything lately, and we already know it's in the Action 5 Pro 2, I would expect this thing to have with the 101.3 inch sensor. It is sensor they already have.
I hope it has the bigger sensor, because we just, like I said, it just gives you more flight time during a longer period of time in more places where you just, I hate it when I look back at the footage from the Mini 2, and you look at the footage from, like the 4K. If you got great lighting, that sensor does great. But once you start to challenge the lighting, you get shadows. It really makes your images dark and not very pleasing. I was looking at some 4K footage just today from the Mini 4K, which is a great drone. I mean, it's a Mini 2 basically. So I'm hoping that this thing at least will have some punch for the sensor, that they will take the best quality lens they can stick inside of that airframe.
And this is a little something that you found, the screenshot, which would be another indicator that this thing is compatible with goggles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people were saying, it doesn't show the O3 camera, O3 system, as selectable, but this could be an earlier version of the firmware that was specialized just for the reviewers.
Uh-huh.
So at that point, O3 may not have been in the picture, or it is scrolled down somehow. And if you scroll back up, you find the O3 option.
I'm trying to get another image example that helps us understand the concept I'm thinking about here. So yeah, so on that list of drones, that's just a scrolling list. So it's possible that it could be scrolled all the way up.
Yeah.
But this has nothing to do with drones. Okay. This is just an image example of what the concept I was talking about. Just real quick. This is just for shits and giggles here. So this is an image of dark and light. Okay. So if you basically have this is a 1-inch sensor looking in a dark, shady area, looking out into a light area. And you can see that a sensor has to make a choice, right? It has to make a choice whether to put the inside in focus
it's called dynamic.
Yeah.
It's called dynamic range.
Yeah. And then of course, though, a really good sensor you can go into, and now I can still see a little bit of sky. You probably can't because of the 700 or the 720, but I can still see sky. That's a really good image. That's a 1-inch image. And I'm just hoping for a 1/1.3. So you get in a dark space like that, you at least get an image that doesn't look like crap, even with the toy. I mean, DJI has the ability to,
I still love how you cut the lady in half though on the right hand side.
the guy.
No, the lady. You scroll out. Him too, but go to the right. All the way to the right, inside the room.
Oh. Look at her body. And that's where you're basically taking 6 images. I made the mistake of, you don't want to put the wide angle lens when you do your 6 images, when you do your panoramic. And I made the mistake because it distorts your entire image. But with the Pocket 3, if you keep your regular, focal, it'll make it nice and even. So I made a bunch of mistakes with that. But yeah, it's amazing how much detail you still get in a zoom on with that in the shade. I'm taking this picture in the shade, so it's overexposing the background. So anyway, that's the difference between a good camera and a bad camera, that you can kind of manage that, because that's just touristy stuff, But when I look at a new, like an Action 5, I want that shot in the Action 5 to be perfect. I want to be able to see the sky taking that picture indoors or indoors looking out. I want it
Yeah.
to be able to do that. And that's the HD, right? That's the dynamic range of, the
Yeah.
magic of good cameras, which that Canon could do. Or excuse me, the Sony could do. I mean, I just call it a Canon.
I was
This,
just wondering where do you get a Canon from now? But
I don't know.
two things really quick. Props off. Seems to be new around here. I just made him a moderator. So you've been smurfed. You've been rinsed, whatever you want to call it. Johnny Drone Flyers here. So y'all be careful what you say. He makes you go away. And props off got the flight I bought it too was the new goggles, and he loves the new goggles. So
here's the opposite. I've got an opposite of that image. If
you get an
you know,
opposite.
I got an opposite of that. Just real. It's just good examples of. Let's see, it's that one right there. So this is an opposite. This is basically shade or light to shade. So I'm in a lit area, and then I'm basically cropping into more of a shady area. If you look way
Yeah,
back
yeah.
here.
I understand you were lit most of the time on the way while you were over there. That's what I heard.
But she was getting very annoyed with me because I was not listening to her. Because this was the image I wanted right here. That's my father-in-law standing off to the side. He's just minding his own business. But to me, that's the shot. And then, of course, getting this statue here without the head. But that's all 1 inch. That's 1 inch DJI
Well,
lighting.
if you're looking at a statue for a head, then
But that's 6 frames basically stitched together in one huge image with having the correct lens on it. You can see that it's much more square and it's not it's not distorted. But anyway, that's where I'm going with imagery. I when I get a crappy camera in front of me, it's really hard for me to lie. It's like Captain Drone in his recent.
is that that's not the Pocket. It was the Go 3S, right?
The what? Oh, no, that right there is Pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Pocket
Go 3
3.
can. The Go 3 is a good example of a small sensor trying to do that. It can't. So if you look at my really bright pictures, I can show you a Go 3 image that is a great example of that.
Yeah, it's the Pocket 3.
Yeah, here's a Go 3 image. The Go 3 is doing everything it can. It's hamstrung by its sensor. It's tiny,
Well, somehow or another, I had it in my head that that first picture was taken was the Go 3. I
I'll
guess I
give you
was mistaken.
this. This is an example of how it can't, because it's just I'm in a dark. This is a dark area where the camera is trying to do things that it can't do. That's why when you buy a cheaper camera, that's why I'm thinking that this little Neo, if it has a 1/1.3 in it, it's going to be like it's going to be like alien technology, So here's basically the Go 3. It can't even compete. Okay. So the Go 3 can't,
You have to share your screen if you want.
yeah, right here.
There we go.
So can you see how grainy it is? That's all it can do. It can't do anymore. It's in a dark area and it's trying to capture light. So it's in a terrible situation at this point. I mean, as beautiful as that corner is there, that's to me, that's damn good. If I was, not a expert camera operator at this point. You like that? But yeah, it's doing everything it can. But you get what you pay for. Okay. That's a tiny little, we wanted small, right? So if I take that camera and I do an outside video with it, it's going to do fine. But you can't take it indoors. That is too low light. And that's not a low light area, really. I mean, that is in comparison. If I took the Pocket 3 in there, not even the same, not even in the same world, the Pocket 3 would knock that out, so it's, you have to decide whether you want compact, simple versus, and that's when we look at little drones, we're going to pay for the size and the weight of the Neo, and don't think like you're going to take it inside of a bar and do a fly through. It's not going to happen. At least I don't think so. Until Kelly does one with his Neo that he's probably playing with already.
I don't know. He published his wish list of what the Neo should be, but
he's been awfully quiet, so he's busy.
But I'm guessing. Well, he's also been working on a new channel. So
that's right. That's right. They got the other channel going on.
But I'm thinking DJI's been cramming a 1/1.3 inch sensor into just about everything, and they have it. And I don't see why they wouldn't use it.
Yeah, no, I think they've mastered it. They've stuck it in the freaking air unit. So why can't you take the air unit guts? They got to do something with all those parts that they're making. To me, it'd be perfect. They just strip the air unit down, make a naked air unit, right? An 03, stick it in the Neo. Totally makes sense. The only thing is powering it. Can it be powered 2S?
Everything powers. I mean, a lot of these boards, internal, they have a power regulator in there, and that drops to 5-volt. No, USB.
To me, that would be the technical question I would ask you, because you would be able to determine whether it's possible they could power it with 2S.
Well, and if you look at, a lot of I know we're completely off here, but Walks now, all their little whoop boards, they're all powered off of 5-volt.
Right.
Because they don't have
so there's, so you can,
and the 03 can be powered off of the USB to get files off and what have you. So I'm fairly certain they're going down to 5-volt. Johnny, we just talked about this. I'm thinking that 135 gram that they're advertising is without the battery. Because if you look at the screenshot, there's a little asterisk or something at the end of that statement. And I'm guessing it's going to be, without the battery, and then with battery, it's going to be just under 200 grams, which would also satisfy the Japanese restrictions.
Yeah, Bob Casey's making the comment that, the Pocket 3 Creator Combo is pretty pricey, $669.
Yeah,
that price is coming down.
But the Creator Combo, doesn't that have the
you got the mic? You got the mic too,
with it, the wireless mic,
right? And with the wireless, I did not have a lot of the problems that, like air photography. He's been kind of not air photography. The guy from Denmark, Henrik. Yeah. He was complaining because his is paired with his Action 4, and you get between the mic and the I don't have those problems. I didn't have those problems with the Pocket. I don't know if there's a difference between the way the actions transmits versus the Pocket, you know, how they talk to one another. They're Bluetooth. But I did have problems with the Pocket 2 with that issue. The power of the mic, of the first mic version with the Pocket 2, I did, as long as you kept your body, you know, between, you know, you don't want them between the two. You don't want it to insulate that Bluetooth signal. But I could go and use the Pocket 2 right now and do a vlog or a video, whatever, for a product. The Pocket 2 is still pretty dang good. But
Pocket 3 V-Lock combo is $868.
Yeah, it's still, the price is like I said, you're almost you spend an extra $1,000, you can get a Sony. But then you have to add the Sony does not have a good sound system. So you have to now add the Rode sound mic to your Sony. Oh,
I have a Rode mic system, so
yeah, I do. I got the Rode too. I got it still sitting in my little bag there just in case.
official price point for the Neo is $329. This is the number that's been floated around.
Yeah.
$329 for the Flymore.
So the price is good. It's not it's going to be priced for the everyman. You're going to sell a lot of them. Anytime they go to that $300 price point, they sell like 4 times as many units. And then they just have there's a long-term recycling of those. I mean, people buying, but August 28th, August 30th.
Well, August 28th is for Action 5. August 20th is for the Neo.
Yeah, that was the, yeah, just check the
I may pull this on here. So if you look here, it says 135 gram light and portable, and then there's a little 1 up here, but there's no explanation what that 1 can mean.
Maybe, you know, the one comment was that with or without the crop guards. So that could be the,
yeah, it absolutely could be. Yes.
That's awfully light though. 135 grams, you know. And do we have any comparables? Any, you know, size comparisons? I mean, you know, weight wise, it's going to be like one of those, you know, I'm thinking about a 2-inch Cinewhoop, you know, I'm trying to think of all those different whoop size.
Yeah, here you go, Johnny. This is what Igor published. Action 5 Pro on the 28th and DJI Neo on the 20th. Now remember, the rest of the world writes the date.
You notice that the bottom one says Neo Motion, so that probably comes with the motion controller. I can't imagine there's no goggles involved in any of those. I think they're just going to hopefully make it.
There ain't no way you're going to get a goggle for $329.
No. And the Flymore combo is going to be batteries, drone and batteries. I didn't see a case with any of those either. So it'd be nice if it comes with a case. I always like that. You know, it'd be nice, but it'd be nice if it fit in one of the little mini cases. I'd just go buy one of those aftermarket. Those little collapsible mini cases. They're only like, you know, $10, $15. Goggles 3View. But are we going to look at the image on the last one that was posted? We're kind of running out of time here. I got to get running.
Which image are you referring to?
The one with we don't have, yeah, I guess we do here. The one, go to the one that I reposted. Jasper Ellens post with the
This one?
on the sim app.
Oh. This one?
Yeah, he's got two pictures of that, which is kind of interesting. I think it's an unrelated product, or it's more. I've got it on the bench. Yeah.
I mean, that's all kind of, yesteryear, because there's the FPV, there's the original Avata V2 goggles. So I don't know how the turntable fits into all that.
Yeah, it's a click-on item. I mean, so we're guessing that it's a peripheral, or it's some kind of add-on. If you look at my image, it's blown up just a little bit. I don't know if it helps.
Well, he's got this.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't really see any. You do see a date though back there where it says 3/19. That's probably when they're going to roll out the functionality of that.
3/19.
Yeah.
That was March.
Oh, maybe. Okay, that was when they probably. Well, guys, what would that mean? It's this year, so.
Yeah, I think we're trying to read something into something that ain't there.
Maybe that's
But
not
what
it.
I find interesting is up at top here, this little tidbit, the 61 frames per second,
Yeah.
because that is 04 territory.
Yeah.
That you can only get.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Was 04. And none of this is 04.
It just to be interesting if that's just a clue. That's only just a clue.
The goggles are not 04. The DJI FPV, Quasimodo, whatever, the potato.
Yeah.
That's not 04. The Avata one is not 04. So this is kind of an oddity.
Yeah, you can look at it. If you go to the app, it's all there. You have limited ability to.
East Coast says that's numbers for the Illuminati.
Is there anything special about the diagram underneath the FPV drone there? What that controller there? There's a diagram there. I can't see it. Here, let me look at it through. Let me see if it's something different. I'm just going to look at it through my magnifying glass. I'm looking at the app right now.
That is probably the controller 2, because it still has an external antenna.
Yeah, that looks like that. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I can't.
Because the controller 3 doesn't even have an external antenna anymore.
Ooh, I just blew it up.
You okay? I didn't hear anything go boom.
Oh, it's gimbal. There are gimbals that are. Yeah, that is a. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything special, anything different.
No.
I just see if there's any other clues in there that they left.
I know what this is. This is going to be for the Phantom 5. Okay. Because back here on the shelf, you see, to the left of that lamp, you see 2 Phantoms on that shelf. And then there's a big open spot on the right. And I guarantee you, this is for the Phantom 5. You heard it here first, folks. It's the Phantom 5. Phantom 5 is coming.
Phantom 5. Oh, man. The illustrious Phantom. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm trying to look at the picture through my magnifying glass here to see if there's anything else in that image at all.
No, this is part of the Phantom 5. This is one of the interchangeable batteries for the Phantom 5. That's what it is. We figured it out. People
well.
been crying for a Phantom 5 for years, and now they're finally going to get their wish.
Yeah, I'm messing with the different views of that on my phone. So see if there's anything else in that image that you can get from it, but I don't know. I'm not. Sometimes I'm not as keen. I think I see more than because I think you can see what you want to see. You know, if you want to see more, you're going to see more.
Yeah, I'm seeing the battery for Phantom 5.
This is the DJI Romo, like a CD-ROM, CD-Romo. Oh, who knows?
We'll call it the Phantom 5. So.
Oh well. All righty, man. I'm gonna have to get myself.
Yeah, it is time for us to call it a date because you've got a dinner to attend.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm ready to go. Ready to go and roll. There we go.
And the dog is fed. There we go. We can call it dinner.
Possum got his dog feed. But yeah,
Possum got the dog fed. We're all good.
Uh-oh.
You hit the button just a little too early.
There's a Logitune updated and I wanted it to get my Brio working again. There we go. It changes my aspect ratio a little bit quicker. So it wasn't working, and I was trying to figure out why it wasn't working, and it had an update it needed to run. But nice little app. It does a nice job with the camera. All righty. But yeah, a couple interesting things. FPV wise, we still haven't lost focus on that. We just got a flurry of crap coming through right now, and at the other side, and the Neo is FPV. You know, as far as we hope it is.
The Neo will be FPV. But it's gonna suck having to buy a freaking $500 goggle to go with it.
I don't. I think it'll be fun and useful without it. So I think it's gonna. I think the smart features built into it will. You know, we'll have everybody will be having their little Neo chasing them on their scooter here pretty soon. So, and I just so happen to have a scooter to do it with. That hasn't sold yet. I'm gonna have to fire sale those scooters, man. Those things are people I can get them for so cheap right now. There's so many. The market is slammed with scooters.
Yeah. So we try to interpret something real quick, or no?
What you got? What you got? Is it something?
Well, we've got all these symbols on.
Oh yeah.
On the front of that.
I think they're the same symbols that are on the Hover X1.
I think this is a takeoff.
Yeah.
This is some sort of focus mode. This is a droning.
I'm looking at the Hover Air symbols. they're somewhat the same and not. Like there's a circle and then there's a rise shot. And then there's something with a star, which I think it may be a custom mode. And then there's a follow mode.
Whoops, what the hell did I do?
Somebody just got jacked.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah,
So this is what the X1 has. Here, let me. I can share this to help us a little bit with the dissection of. So just really quick, and then we'll go back. So so you got this symbol, but you got some other ones like the follow symbol, orbit. It does that. This has a dolly track mode. You know that. Then you have a manual control. Looks like with the phone, bird's eye, which is probably straight down. Zoom out, which is we'll get to see that. Of course, the Idaho quadcopter will do a zoom out and then hover. So those are the buttons on the hover.
So bird's eye that we have right here.
Yep.
This is the zoom out thing. So that's the droney. This is a circular thing. So that's got to be some sort of orbit around you.
Right. Some orbit mode. Yeah, that's a nice clear picture. Yeah, so there must be a follow, and then there's circle follow. But yeah, it's so anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modes, and 2 buttons. There's a rear button, and then there's a front button. The front button must be a mode button.
The front button is the power on and off button.
So what's the rear button then?
Battery release.
Ah, all right. That makes sense. And that little thing popping out there it has to be part of the battery that's sticking out the back.
If the battery actually does stick out the back, that would be a good thing because that means they can produce a bigger battery.
Right. That would be able to extend past put a rubber bumper on it, and there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're 12, 13 days away. So more images, probably we'll get prices coming out. I think next week there's supposed to be a flurry of things coming out. So starting next Monday. So that's when and then 157 centimeters, 13 centimeters, and 4.9 centimeters. Those are the dimensions. They don't say if that's horizontal.
Well, I mean, 15.7, that's got to be
with the nose.
That's got to be site to site.
So in that
which equals roughly to 6 inches. 6 and a quarter inches.
Yeah, 15.7.
And then the 13's got to be front to back. And 13 is just over 5 inches.
Yeah, just grabbing the frame here. Just getting my handy Beta FPV frame here. That's useless. Yeah, what'd they say? 15.7?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's That's what that is. So that's basically 15 right there. 15.3 or 4. So this is a square. I mean, it's
Yeah.
15 by 15. So that's
So I don't
obviously
think
the
it's going to
body.
be. I seriously doubt this is going to be a 2.5-inch quad. I think this is 2 or 2.1 or 2.3 or something. But there's no way that's a 2.5-inch.
Yeah, it's going to be a little smaller.
The prop guards, if they be thinner, then you could get a larger prop. But there's not a lot of clearance between the prop and the prop guard. So
No, that's a really small prop, though. That is little.
I don't think there's going to be regular store-bought props that are going to fit on that thing.
Nope.
Which would be a bit unfortunate. So I kind of wish this is a 2-inch so we can put 2-inch props on there.
Probably not the case.
And then what's that? 4.9 centimeters for height. So that's right at 2 inches tall. So that's not big. That's very small. That's how it's getting the flight time because it's lightweight and small. But it's not going to be very quiet. Not with the props and not with those prop guards.
Nope. She'll have a high pitch.
And with us being a 2S bird, it's going to have high kV motors. With high kV motors comes noise. So,
all righty, man. I'm gonna have to excuse myself.
all right. Well, we're both gonna excuse ourselves, and we're just gonna pack up and get out of here.
Yes, sir. All right.
If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up on the way out, please. I appreciate it. Come on, we can get to 10, can we? Where we at? Okay, we got 10. How about that? We made it to 10 thumbs. So, any more words of wisdom there, Buster?
Nope. I guess we got to be patient.
20 isn't that far out. 2 weeks.
We have to be patient and get ready for the storm because there'll be a storm of.
We can make a prediction about the Neo and in our live stream in 2 weeks. We'll be talking all about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely know more for sure. There'll be details.
Yeah, because that's the 20th. So
the minefield.
Is that minefield weekend too?
Must be. Eat possum saying that.
All right. Well,
that would be kind of a fun thing to go to. It's just where it's at. It's the timing.
So it's difficult to get to.
Yeah, it's always terrible. I'm back to work. When I'm back to work this time of year, I can't get away. It's impossible. That's what summer's for me. That's what 2 months of sitting around and or being busy is. I'm ready to get back to work. So, all righty. All right. We are out of here. Have a great one.
All righty. Y'all, we'll see you next Tuesday. Same time, same place. And until then,
adios.
See y'all later.